Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is HAFIZ bin LATIF with matrix number of 72362. So today our group will present our group project, which is the proposal of fully automated cake production for company Z. So as you can see at the left side of the slide is our group member, which is the Muhammad AJWAD bin NAJMUDDIN, Isaac EMONG ANAK Paul Komini, Muhammad SYAMIM bin YAKOP, and myself, which is Muhammad HAFIZ bin LATIF. So for the overview, there are 8 things that we present in our slide, which is introduction, literature review, monitoring work, types of manufacturing, quality control and quality assurance, centralized and decentralized approach, cost analysis, and last one is conclusion. So I will start with introduction. So basically, Company Z is a company that manufacturing cakes, and they have been operates for 20 years. So during that time, they have distributed cakes to hypermarket and supermarket. And recently, they have received an contract about they have to export their cakes to Middle East. So from the contract, they have undergo one challenge, which is they have no experience in mass production. And after they have discussed with their group members, they have come out with one solution, which is to utilize the fully automation for new company, which is the company Z. So next is here, as you can see here is the uh, organization chart for company Z, which is the plant manager is Muhammad Ajwad, facility manager is me, Muhammad Hafiz, quality control engineer is Muhammad Shamim, and Isaac Emong is our production engineer. So for the problem statement, we have identified that company Z has lacks of experience in mass production. So from the problem statement, we have come out with 5 objectives, which is to propose new full automated factory of cake manufacturing for company Z. Next is to advocate manufacturing work in new factory. The third one is to discuss the usage of group technology, cellular manufacturing, and flexible manufacturing system, which is FMS, for the fully automated factory of our company, which is company Z. The fourth one is to discuss the usage of quality control system in manufacturing system. And the last one is to control and suggest the use of centralized and decentralized approach to the automation of cake manufacturing process. So I will continue my presentation with.
Greetings and hello, my name is Isaac EMONG 72273 and I'm going to present on Chapter 2 Literature Review. Presented to you here are the summary of the literature review conducted. According to Coastal in 2011, FMS is a GT manufacturing cell that is highly automated and flexible, and it can adapt to changes in manufacturing. It usually consists of 3 main elements, namely workstation, material handling and storage system, and control system. Next, moving on. In cake manufacturing, online monitoring with ultrasonic sensors are used to monitor better quality, and several key inspection points for cake manufacturing are the raw ingredient stage, dough stage, after baking, after packaging, and after case packaging. According to Wagner et al., centralized approach and decentralized approach have several key advantages, respectively, such as centralized approach allows automation to be controlled at a particular control center, and it is easy to be implemented. On the other hand, the centralized approach has the benefit of increased flexibility and adaptability for automated plant.
With chapter 3, which is monitoring work. So monitoring work is defined as the process of routinely observe and documentation of the action occurring within the project or the program. And according to Lovett et al. 2007, monitoring work is defined as the continuous data collection and analysis process that is being assessed. So for the advantages, monitoring work is good to determine whether the inputs of the project are well observed. It also used to identify the problem that facing toward the community and find its way to solve. And the last is to prevent the poor quality and ensure exceptional performance in quality control. So basically, there are 2 types of monitoring work, which is the online and the offline. So for online monitoring work, it is performed when the parts are being made or in the process of manufacturing, and it is divided into 2, which is the in-process monitoring and the post-process monitoring. So for the offline monitoring work, it is performed away from the manufacturing process, which is it is performed after the process of manufacturing is made, and it is appropriate for adoption because it is less objective compared to the online monitoring system. So for monitoring tools, our company, which is Company Z, have choose our own tools in monitoring, which is for the online, we have choose to use the near infrared spectroscopy or NIRS. So this tools is to examine the samples of chemical makeup by using the near infrared light. So by means it is used to determine the presence and the concentration of specific compounds such as the moisture, the protein, the fat, and the sugar content in our cakes. We choose this tool because it is precise, quick during the analysis, and is non-invasive. For the offline monitoring tool, we have choose two methods, which is the laboratory testing and data logging. For the laboratory testing, we have choose this tool because to make sure our product or cake achieve its food safety and quality standard. And during the test, the microbiological contamination, chemical traces, and physical characteristic is being tested for such as the pH, the moisture, the content, and viscosity. For data logging, it is a method to gather the information on a variety of characteristics such as the temperature, the humidity, the pressure, and the flow rate of our product.
Hi, I'm Isaac EMONG Knp4073, and I'm going to continue presenting on Chapter 4, type of manufacturing. For Company Z, the proposed manufacturing system is FMS of loop layout that utilizes group technology philosophy and cellular manufacturing. There are several advantages of implementing FMS, such as increased machine utilization, reduces number of machine, flexibility and adaptability, reducing lead time, and a more reliable manufacturing process can be had, and it reduces the amount of labor required. This figure shows the manufacturing process of cake, which consists of several stages such as loading, weighing, batter mixing, molding, baking, cooling, final inspection, packaging, and unloading the packaged cake. Due to these manufacturing processes, the proposed manufacturing layout is loop layout. The reason why it is selected and proposed because it allows the part family, such as the raw ingredients, batter, and cakes, to move in a single direction according to the cell workstation according to the manufacturing processes. Presented to you here is a plant floor plan layout for ground level, assuming that the manufacturing facility is a double-story manufacturing plant. Figure here shows the legend for this floor plan layout, which consists of workstation, inspection methods, and monitoring tools. A brief summary of this layout is from the raw ingredient store, the ingredients are then loaded onto workstation 1. In workstation 2, weighing process occurs. In workstation 3, batter is then mixed in the batter mixing stage. In workstation 4, molding process occurs. In workstation 5, the cake and the batter is then baked into a cake. In workstation 6, cooling is done, and in workstation 7, after cooling is done, the final inspection is done onto the cake. In workstation 8, after the inspection has been done, the cake is then packaged into its packaging, and it moves into workstation 1 again to be unloaded into the finished product store. This figure here shows the plant flow layout for level 1, which consists of the offices, as well as the lobby, restroom, prayer room, pantry, and general store. In this slide here, the machine used in respective workstations are shown. For the main material handling system, a food-grade conveyor belt is used, as well as in workstation 1. For workstation 2, where weighing of the raw ingredients occur, a digital weighing scale is used to weigh them. On workstation 3, batter mixing and arm mixer is used to mix the dry and also the wet ingredients together to form batter. In workstation 4, molding process is done using the cake batter depositor. In workstation 5, baking process occurs in the industrial tunnel oven, where it bakes the cake at specific temperature and duration that can be adjusted. In workstation 6, cooling process is done through cake cooling tunnel. It functions to cool the cake quickly after baking. In workstation 8, where packaging of the cake occurs through the use of cake packaging machine, whereby the cake is packaged into its packaging before shipment is done.
Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is YAKOP of meeting number of 72810. I will continue the presentation to cover Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Chapter 5, Quality Control and Quality Assurance. Okay, Quality Control and Quality Assurance. Quality control defined as the process of ensuring that products meet or exceed the specified quality standards before they are released to the market. Meanwhile, quality assurance means the overall system of processes, policies, and procedures that are put in place to ensure that products are consistently produced to meet or exceed the specified quality standards. Basically, quality assurance is the proactive approach, meanwhile, quality control is the reactive approach. The basic comparison between QA and QC. Basically, QA prevents defects and errors from occurring in the first place before the product being manufactured. Meanwhile, QC focus on identifying and correcting defects and errors after the product had been manufactured. Taguchi method is a quality control approach method that had been designed and created by Dr. Genichi Taguchi in 1980s to optimize product design and production process by using and implementing design of experiment statistics. In the approach of Taguchi method, here is the equation that will be used to determine the design experiments trials, or the number of trials and the number of experiments that need to be carried. Here, NV represent the number of parameters controlled and L represent the level of parameters. Based on the tables, we can conclude that there are 4 parameters that will be controlled and 3 level of parameters. By substituting this value in the previous equation, we will get 9 trials for our Taguchi method experiments. As a result, this is a table that consists of 9 trials or 9 experiments that will be implemented by using the 4 parameters, which is the ingredient mixing, baking process, the temperature for mixing process, and the cooling baked cake. Okay, each method is process that ensure product follow the customer requirement or the food regulation requirement after each session. If the product or food found faulty, it will be discarded via appropriate route or way. Inspection process. Okay, first process of inspection, we will use metal detector in detecting the metal in the ingredient or the raw materials, and we will use once again the metal detector to inspect if there are still metal left in the mixture, and check weigher machine will be used to check the weight of the mixture. After that, ultrasonic molding machine will be used to inspect and create the mold to create our desired shape, size, and dimension of the cake. And lastly, we will try to use the X-ray machine to inspect if there are still any impurities that may have been introduced to the cake at any point throughout the making process. And for the final inspection, there will be no machine included. We will only use the manual testing to inspect the total texture of the cake. Machine used in the inspection method. For metal detector, we will use the conveyor metal detector FFD 40 series. For the check weigher, we use the DACS GN check weigher. For the molding, we will use the SCGAR ultrasonic molding machine. And lastly, for the inspection method, we will try to suggest the Foodman X-ray inspection system FXR 40 series. Chapter 6. Centralized and decentralized approach in the manufacturing process. Centralized approach. A centralized manufacturing system is one in which all decision making and management is centralized at a single location or in a small group of individuals. Meanwhile, decentralized means the opposite, where a centralized manufacturing system, on the other hand, is one in which decision making and management is spread out among locations and group of individuals. Comparison between centralized and decentralized. Okay, for centralized manufacturing, it gives us more efficient and cost-effective decision making and greater control over productivity and quality control. Meanwhile, decentralized manufacturing gives more responsive to changes and greater flexibility in manufacturing process. Disadvantages for centralized manufacturing. Decision making is further away from operational level when the central station is further from the operational station. Meanwhile, for decentralized manufacturing, it can lead to inconsistency in the way decisions are made since there are too many stations. Suggestion and recommendation. Since it is their first time exporting the product to the Middle East, we suggest and propose companies that to use centralized approach. This will give them consistency, greater control over quality, implement company-wide policies and procedures, greater efficiency and cost effectiveness, easy to manage and monitor the entire production process. This is due to the fact that their brands are new in the market. Thus, they need to make an establishment and make their brand known. Thus, they need to prepare and give a high quality product. However, this approach can be improved by using localization station, where we can connect to the local market and know their needs and their interests. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi. So my name is Muhammad AJWAD bin NAJMUDDin and my matric number is 72392. Today I would like to present to you regarding the chapter 7, which is the cost analysis. So what you need to know is about the capital cost is the capital cost is the cost of operating a manufacturing plant, and you should know that the capital costs are fixed, which means it is the cost that uh, you you invest in order to build up or setting up any kind of business or any kind of manufacturing. For example, you need to invest to build up a factory. Uh, for- sorry. Then, as you can see here, we have a table that consists of the land rental, building rental, tax, insurances, and renovation. That comes up with different costs, with the total cost of 800,000 ringgit. So I will proceed to the bills of materials. So in order to make a cake, we the ingredients of making a cake are flour, butter, egg, caster sugar, milk, salt, coloring essence vanilla, baking powder, and cocoa powder. So we come up with the quantity in the table of based on the reference of 10 minutes of sponge cake for a single tray, and the cost based on our calculation in the reports, the total cost, the cost for 1 unit cake was one ringgit and 49 cents. As for the total cost for sponge cake for 1 million units is RM 1,490,000 ringgit. So I proceed to the operating cost, that the labor cost is one of the main element in the operating cost. So the operational cost is the overall cost associated with governing product through several other products and upkeep. The operating cost is made up of administrative costs, electricity costs, and water utilities costs. In this table, the we have the we have the position, quantity, salary per month, salary per year, and total annual salaries, which means we are going to pay the salaries of the workers in the factory of making a cake. So in this table, we have the operation manager, quality control engineer, production engineer, logistic operator, technician, and general worker. As the minimum salaries for the workers is 1,500 ringgit. So for the total cost of paying the salaries of the workers is 482,000 ringgit. So from our calculation, the labor cost for each unit of product is 0.48 cents per unit. So I'll proceed to the machinery cost. So in order, we have to in order, the machinery cost is also a important thing in order to set up a factory, which we need to invest in buying a machine for our production. So in this cake manufacturing, we are using the machines of such as food crate conveyor belt, automatic welding scale, arm mixer, cake butter deposition, industrial tunnel oven, cake cooling tunnel, packaging machine. So we so we are using the machines that we have in the market. So as you can see in the table, we have the cost of each unit of the machines. So we come up with the total cost of 151,144 ringgit and 10 cents. As for the overhead cost, so the overhead cost is the cost of running the entire production was accounted for in electricity and water utilities. So in order to calculate the overhead cost, we are referring to the Sarawak Energy Berhad Tarif, as the Sarawak Energy Berhad Tarif was decided that the energy price was determined to be 0.3 cents for each kilowatt. As you can see in the right side of the table, we have the cost of each machines used that come up with the total cost of 30,136 ringgit and 32 cents. As you can see in the left side of the table, we have the table that being taken from uh, as you can see in the table, we have the domestic or commercial rate that come up with the price of water consumption. So the water required for a regular size sponge cake was 1/3 cup of water. So a cup of water contains about 236.55.88 millimeter. For a tray of 10 sponge cake, the water required was 0.7889 liters. So based on our calculation in the report, the total water required for a month of production is 65,741 and 0.6667 liters. So the total water fees for a year production is 768 ringgit and 18 cents. 16 cents. So next I will proceed to the product selling price. So the total variable cost account in material cost, labor cost, and overhead cost for annual production. And the total variable cost is 2,000,000 and 2002922 ringgit and 48 cents. So a product selling price is determined using the variable total cost, which includes the 10% of SST rate. So based on our calculation, the selling price per unit is 2 ringgit and 64 cents. As for the conclusion, there are two flexible manufacturing system or FMS that is applied by company Z, which is group technology and cellular manufacturing. And then the company that has come with the FMS plan layout, which is loop layout. The company Z also has chosen to apply two methods in maintaining product quality, which is WG method and inspection method. And last but not least, the company Z recommend centralized manufacturing for both production and management system for cake. So that's all from me. Thank you.